Hey Geometry, I just wanted to take a minute here at the beginning of the week and check in with you and just kind of go over the to-do list for this week on the agenda, what that looks like and what that's going to mean for you pretty much up until the end of this year. So first thing that's there you'll see is Alex. I took off the 1 hour time requirement that I have been putting on there because of the way I changed it from last week. So what you need to do is decide how you're going to get to your 40 topics. So the goal is to get to 40. You can do that little by little over a couple days. You can just, or over a couple days, couple weeks, you can decide you're just going to hammer it all out, get it all done. But you need to have 40 topics logged between March 16th and the end of the school year. So I'm going to cut this off at May 20th. So May 20th is the due date. I absolutely cannot accept it late after that. So on May 20th, I'm going to check where you are in Alex, and that's the grade. That'll be the final grade for you. So I do still need to go back through and update those. Be on the lookout this week. I will get back in there and do that for you within the next day or two. The other thing that you see on your agenda is a new hyperdoc. So it is a review of algebra, and the reason we chose to do this, so Ridgeview is doing the same exact thing for geometry, is because you are heading into Algebra 2. So we're a little unsure about what the start of the school year may look like, but we do know you're heading into Algebra 2, and it's going to start back with solving some of those equations, graphing lines, graphing parabolas, factoring, a lot of the stuff that maybe you've come a little rusty on while we've been working on these geometry topics this year. So we're going to make these last couple weeks a chance for you to do some work there. So I know some of you may have had it for the year. If you choose not to do this, it's on you. You're setting yourself up to not be as prepared as some of your classmates who are taking the time to go through and refresh. So again, all of this is stuff that you did in Algebra 1, not necessarily stuff we've done this year in geometry. So it's been a while. It should all look familiar, but the goal is to take that stuff that's maybe back in the back of your brain all fuzzy and bring it forward so you're ready to go into the next school year. So just like before, I attached a rubric to the end of it so you can decide what grade you want to work towards and work towards that this week and next week. So that will be how long you'll have to work on this. The last week is going to be for makeup work. So again, I'll take this up till May 20th. So that's going to be my cutoff for all the work. So that gives me a couple days to get it in the grade book and things like that. So you have up until then to get it done. My goal for you is to be able to kind of be done the 15th, that Friday, and not have to worry about any of it or finish it up over the weekend and use that last week either to chill or to make up some work that you have either for me or for some of your other classes. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I did make a new questions document that's linked to that hyperdoc. So anything you're not sure about while you're working through, you're welcome to put in there. I am going to give you more specific guidelines about turning it in. So I got a lot of feedback that it was not very pretty on the last hyperdoc, the way you turned it in. To be honest, I could see your work and see that you did it. It's kind of up to you to make sure you're checking it in, that it's correct, as always. But I am going to try to make it a little easier for you. So I'm going to give a little shout out to Logan here, who suggested using Google Slides to turn it in. So that's the way we're going to do it this time around. So on each of your slides, you need to have a title up at the top. So you're going to title it exactly the same as the title in that hyperdoc square. So whatever you see in bold at the top of the square is what you need to put as your title for that slide. On that slide, you need to put your work showing that you completed it. Not just a screenshot of quizzes saying you had an 80%, 90%, 100%. If you give me that, you're going to get a 0% for that. So you need to show me your work. So I want to see the step-by-step work that you did in order to answer your problems, not all in a circle all around paper. So kind of go back to the way we were in the classroom, organized work. So if you're not submitting organized work for that, you're not going to get credit for those squares. So my goal is to give you all this information out front because I don't want you to have to do an activity and then go back and redo it. So make sure while you're completing these, you're writing down the problems, you're showing organized work, kind of keeping it organized on a nice piece of paper, so you can just take a picture of it and turn it in to me on the Google Slides. So each slide will be a different activity, so it'll be a little easier for you than having to try to link every single thing or slide in pictures and mess up the formatting that's there. So if you need more instructions on that, again, I am going to have a video coming with that as well. But for right now, all you need to know is that as you're completing these activities, make sure you're keeping your work, keeping it organized. Let's see. Desmos. So there are a lot of Desmos activities out there that don't necessarily require you to be writing a lot of down. You're just manipulating things that are on the screen. So if you're doing a Desmos activity, what I want you to do is once you have it, so if it's like the marble slides, once you have the marbles falling correctly, I want you to take a screenshot of that slide. before you move on to the next one. So when you submit that one, up on the top, I would expect to see marble slides and then a whole bunch of screenshots of the different activities you did through it. You're probably going to want to make 2 for that one because there's linear and quadratic. I think that's the only one that would require more than 1 slide. Everything else you should be able to get on. Don't worry about how small it is. I have editing privileges when you submit through Google Classroom, so I can always blow it up bigger if I need to be able to look at it or see it. So doesn't matter how small it is, it just needs to be there. Last thing, I think I already said this, but just in case, for quizzes, Khan Academy, any of the worksheets, I need to see the step-by-step work. If you don't have a printer, don't worry about it. You can do the work on a piece of notebook paper. If it's a coloring one, don't choose it if you don't have a printer, all right? Because you're not going to be able to color it outside of that. So I'm sorry, but stick with the other activities. So you've got a lot there to choose from. Let me know if you've got any questions. I do have the live note session, so if you come to a live note session, be ready to ask some questions. So have the activities there, because I just kind of look at who's in the group, take questions from who's there. Those of you that came last time, I'm hoping it's going to go a little smoother. That was the first one that we had done that way, but we've got a little better setup this time going in. So if you have questions, make sure that you're coming to those to see me, or signing up for your own Google Meet is totally fine too. So that sign up is there as well. So I hope all of you guys are doing well. Let's finish this year strong, and let me know if you got any questions. Bye, guys.